The FBI director tell you about the shooter? What do we know?
What we know at this point in time is that he was a member of this Michigan community, that he is a veteran of our United States Armed Forces. He served in the United States Marine Corps in Iraq. His family is cooperating with the FBI, and so they are currently trying to dig in and get to the bottom of why he committed this heinous act of violence. It's unfathomable. And as the president rightfully put in his Truth Social yesterday, this appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians. And the Trump administration is fully committed to not only investigating these crimes, but prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law, but also working very hard to prevent them, to see if there's red flags. The FBI is going to treat those as public safety emergencies and investigate them to try to prevent such violence from taking place in our country.
There we have Caroline Levitt talking on Fox News about that shooting over the weekend at a church. Yes, another church shooting. Did you see a little bit of cautious nature behind those words? When I heard her speaking about that, I still didn't know who the culprit was. I felt this energy that was a lot different than the energies we've been feeling in the last couple of shooters. Here's a little bit more. Maybe you can see what I'm seeing.
And they are trying to understand more about this, how premeditated it was, how much planning went into it, whether he left a note. All of those questions have yet to be answered, but certainly will be answered by the FBI. I think the American people in your audience can be assured. Look at the great work that the FBI did in light of, or in the hours and days following the assassination, on Charlie Kirk's life. That was a successful investigation, and that investigation continues. And that assassin was, of course, being held accountable in the court of law now.
Do you hear any barking or yelling about another radical left lunatic? Another shooter that's coming to try and start civil war in this country, another person who's too busy calling the fascist in the White House a fascist and a Nazi because he keeps doing fascist and Nazi things. Did you hear them say any of that stuff? Did you hear them talk about how this is another assault on right-wingers from these left-wingers because we know the number of political partisan shootings in this country is overwhelmingly from... Did you hear any of that? Did you hear her barking? Or did you hear her trying to then bring up their catalyst story about the Charlie Kirk shooting? Did you hear that part? Because they seem a lot more calm. And you know what? Let's check in with what Trump had to say, because he's the one who drives all of this division and hateful rhetoric. What did he say about it? I've been briefed on the horrendous shooting that took place at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, in case you guys don't know, in Grand Blanc, Michigan. The FBI was immediately on scene and will be leading the federal investigation and providing full support to state and local officials. The suspect is dead, but there's still a lot to learn. This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. The Trump administration will keep the public posted, as we always do. In the meantime, pray for the victims and their families. This epidemic of violence in our country must end immediately. Weird. I didn't read one point in there where it's violent leftist lunatic liberals that we have to go kill, that you should all start grabbing your guns and attack folks in the streets that you think, based off of what they look like, that you should start killing. It's weird. It's like he didn't say any of that stuff. Maybe I should let you guys in onto why. Mehdi Hassan pointed out this excerpt from this article about this shooter. The guy's name is Thomas Jacob Sanford. So Sanford is seen wearing a camouflage Trump 2020 campaign shirt in a 2019 photo from a Facebook page dedicated to his son's medical journey. A Google Street View of a home that Public Records identifies Sanford's primary address shows a blue Trump Pence yard sign attached to a backyard fence. And that image was apparently taken in June. Just like the previous few shooters that they decided to go quickly and write and engraving things on bullets to talk about how it was about they're coming after these right-wingers because, the right-wingers are trying to save America and the left-wingers want to destroy it. I mean, all that's written out on the bullets. Did you see Kash Patel posting about everything about this guy before we knew anything? Did you see it? So for some reason, the fact that we now see for the countless time, this guy was a Trump supporter and ran up in that church. And for some reason, he didn't point out that, we must stop this scourge of right-wing, militant, fascist-minded individuals that follow behind my MAGA proposals every day to come and shoot this church. We haven't seen the motive yet, but what we do see is this guy. What I see is a guy in a Trump 2020 shirt. I don't know if this is going to sweep over close enough, but there's a close-up. It's weird. It says Trump 2020. It's got that orange guy's face on it. It's almost like he supports him. And now that that's the case and we see it again, I guess too quickly for them to try and, taint the whole story on it. But they're kind of quiet. Here's the scene from that church where he barreled into it and then purposely started a fire in it. It's got huge American flags on the back of his pickup truck. The way that they had like pickup truck with Confederate flags, American flags, and Trump flags flying all over them all the time. It's almost like it's the direct MO of someone who supports Donald Trump in this MAGA movement. But he ran up in a church and got to shooting people. But the people that he ran up in the church to start shooting weren't black folks like Dylan Roof did. And they weren't going after gay and lesbian folks like these other shooters do. What they've gone after are these white folks praying in church, similar to how they've gone after other folks. And those things got blown off. It's the fact that it's a little bit too hard to make this another partisan rhetoric issue that they want to keep pushing and using for more violence while everyone fights over that in the background while they're doing everything they can to destroy this country has them at a bit of a standstill. For some reason, Cash Patel has not said anything. He won't shut the fuck up about anything else. But right now, oh man, dude can't come in front of cameras right now and talk about how he wants to, we're going to come and follow these guys from the ends of the earth, from LA to New York. We're going to find them. Let me give you guys details of what has happened in case you didn't know how horrendous this attack was. Michigan law enforcement authorities identified 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford. He's from Burton, Michigan, as that suspect who killed 4 people and injured 8 others when he rammed his pickup truck into a church in central Michigan and then opened fire. One of the 8 injured victims is in critical condition while the 7 others are in stable condition. The suspect then exited the vehicle and fired several rounds at people inside the church with an assault rifle. Grand Blanc Township Police Chief William Rain said this. Sanford then used gasoline as an accelerant to light the church on fire. Sanford then died after exchanging gunfire with responding officers in the church's parking lot. We see who he is or was. Motives are still up in the air, though, because police haven't identified this at all. And they said, we can't come to those kinds of conclusions for some time. I want to repeat that sentence. He says, we can't come to those kinds of conclusions about motives for some time. Last part about this, in case you guys, don't have enough irony in your veins yet. The FBI is leading the investigation. Reuben Coleman, acting special agent in charge of the FBI Detroit field office, said the incident is being investigated as an act of targeted violence, but he did not offer any indication of what the motive for the incident might have been. It's like they're taking this case and doing it normally, and, going along the normal processes of maybe checking out the crime scene, assessing it, having folks look into the backgrounds of people, seeing if there's anyone else potentially involved or connected or knew that this was happening. It's almost like they're going about this the normal direction because they weren't really ready for this one. People scoured through this guy's social media. And now some of these things that people pointed out were from his posts either on Facebook and Instagram, and also a couple from his mother. Similarly, we talked about that Utah shooter, how his family pointed out this guy's hardcore right wing. They just, that's what his family said. So I guess we shouldn't believe them. But here's some of the stuff, apparently, allegedly, his mother, who posted this. Charlie Kirk's birthday is October 14th. Let's wear red together. And with the wristband, it says, I am Charlie Kirk. They apparently had a problem with gun violence when it's certain targets, but we're still looking for those motivations. Maybe they're releasing them now, but we're seeing a background of who he was. So how about this? Let's go ahead and stop arguing with people. I feel like a broken record. How about we stop arguing with people that know the degree of violence that's coming from the folks who are following Donald Trump? And we see these types of attacks that suddenly they don't give a hot damn about letting everybody know all the information they got in the first hour since the whole shooting and attack and arson on that church happened. It's weird how that's not what they're doing. So much more calm, no name calling. It's weird. It's like they're admitting that they're doing all this every time they do it to rile people up and then say things like blatantly what the president said last week. I think that these left-wingers who keep committing all this violence need to calm down because it's gonna come back on them, and right-wingers are tougher.
The radical left is causing this problem, not the right, the radical left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games. And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this. They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized because it won't be good for the left.
Does that sound like someone who's not inciting violence? He's not inciting it here. There's no, Nazis on the beach in Huntington Beach chanting, "White men fight back." There's no Klan rallies going all over the country to talk about how they're going to come for everyone who looks just like Thomas Jacob Sanford, because they'd have to look in the mirror.